started here. So, what happened last week?
A
lot of planning and scheming.
A lot of blood pact with the dragon.
We've opted for a frontal assault.
Yeah.
Sort of.
We were gonna.
We're gonna do a little bit of scout first.
Yeah, we're gonna get closer, scout a little bit, and then if plans change, the plans change with new information.
Yeah, and apparently somebody's been watching a portal to the plate of water in Mars, and I might be from there.
Oh shit, this was a wrong character for this campaign. Don't think you guys want Drya in this campaign.
No, that's terrifying.
That would be hilarious.
Having absolutely no clue what's going on, but we're fighting
Drya should be
people.
an NPC.
You know what? I can make Drya, give her planar shift, and then she'll just randomly pop into the
Cather's eventually gonna have play shifts. His clear
Stoyle's daughter.
Hi, I'm Drya.
Yes, so last time you guys re-met with Thelzar to kind of discuss what your terms were going to be if you were going to request further services or if he was just going to be flying you and dropping you off. After discussions amongst yourselves with Astorio and with him, you came to an agreement that you would enroll his further services in exchange for, as soon as you're done here, you will fly back with him to immediately help him with his own problem, which he divulged a little bit of information to you.
Immediately, or
Would
long
we be
enough to stop and
grab our stuff?
Foxtrot to pay for either another week for horses or to pick them up.
You'll have to
Discuss.
work that out.
And be like, oh, here's a point of contention. We need to stop by for like just 5 seconds to throw more gold at this problem.
Yeah.
Yes, formed you a little bit, kind of what he needs help with. Not a ton, but did give you enough to tell you that he sat guarding a plane, or a portal, that leads to the plane of water, and since he has been evicted, basically, from this place by whatever the problem is, things have basically been free to come and go in between the portal, which also led to Thelzar telling Theo that his particular race is not from here, that he is in fact home, his origin is to the other side. You were also told that there are other gates besides this one that lead to the other various planes where Thelzar has brothers that do the same thing he does, and that sit and guard these portals.
You know, I just realized Theo is essentially turning into Jar Jar Binks.
He's from Naboo.
I mean, I'm glad it's taking you this long to realize, but I've realized this for a hot minute, but I've said nothing, because every campaign needs a Jar Jar Binks.
Who's the Jar Jar of Sundays?
Drya. I was gonna say, is that a tough question?
No, I was thinking Volt, honestly, but you know.
I mean, Volt, well, yeah, it's
So last we left off,
I could have
you guys had just landed near the mountain entrance, where Astorio had communicated to Thelzar where it was that you were going, what it was you're looking for. And so you guys have landed here with a final opportunity to discuss what exactly it is that you're going to be doing and what the plan moving forward is going to be.
Yeah, I think Soren, Percy, and I were going to kind of sneak up for a ways, and then Percy was going to invis and go in.
That's how I understood it.
Yep.
That they were going to be close enough that if I were really in desperate straits, they could be there to help extract me. I mean, the goal was not to engage in any kind of combat at this point.
And Felzar was going to fly around, also invisible, and look for any other
Exits
entrance,
nearby.
escapes, things of that sort. So what are those of you who are not going to be sneaking forward, what are you guys going to be doing?
I'm just kind of chilling.
Yeah, kind of just acting as kind of mixture of trying to relax, but also kind of on edge until like everyone's back.
Did you want to sit and wait here? Did you want to go with Felzar?
We can't turn invisible on the panic, so I think it'd be safer if we waited here so he could maneuver and do what he does best on his own without having to worry about us
That's fair.
distracting him.
Okay. Alright. Well then,
It's just less chance
Yep.
of things going awry.
as you guys spend just a few minutes kind of working out the details and talking about it, eventually he goes back into his cloaked state. You hear the sound of his wings kind of start to flap as he makes his ascent and goes on his way.
Yep.
So, we should probably also get going.
I'm just trying to, real quick, looking up the rules for my wyvern poison. For some reason I'm thinking I can't find it anywhere. But like if you go to weapon or weapons with the poison, it lasts for like 1 minute or until delivered.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to coat my weapon with poison because it would likely wear off before I use it. Okay. That's what I was trying to decide. I mean, could I put it on here and it's going to last a while?
Yeah, I know it
I thought
it
was 1
consumes
minute.
it on use, or like on hit, basically.
Right.
As far as duration, I'm not entirely sure. I want to say it's longer than a minute, but I want to say like 10 minutes. I don't think it's a full hour.
I'm trying to find it. I can't. Because if it was going to be a long enough time, I would say before I go in, I would coat my... Okay, contact poison can be smeared on an object until... Okay, that's contact. Injury.
The poison retains potency for 1 minute before drying, so it is 1 minute.
That's what I needed. Thank you. I knew I'd seen that somewhere and I thought it was 1 minute, but I wanted to be sure before I decided what to do. Because I thought, that's the kind of thing that I have to determine at this point.
And it is an action to
Yep.
do so.
I'm also trying to decide if, since I'm going on a stealth mission right now, this is the quandary I have, and I would probably address this to the group, so it would be in character. Since I'm going in super sneaky-like, I'm trying to decide if I should leave my pack here. However,
It'll be invisible with you, I think, won't it?
yes, but it's also heavy. Like, I would be carrying 40 pounds if I got rid of it. Just my armor and equipment and weapons would be 40 pounds.
Probably should leave it behind. You just
But
take
my
what you
pack-
need.
But my pack has my thieves' tools and my tinker's tools if I get in a hard spot.
Can you take those out and carry them on you?
I don't think so. I don't think I could take the tinker's tools. Because it weighs 10 pounds. So that would, to me, say it's like
It's like a toolbox.
To me, it's like my tool bag I have at work.
But thieves' tools ought to be something you stick.
Thieves' tools, I think, is like
It's
a
just a
little
little
pouch
thing-
that I could probably
Yeah,
slide
it's
in my
just
vest
like
pocket.
a thing of lockpicks and stuff.
Yeah, I'd say travel as light as possible.
So I will do that. I will take my thieves' tools out, put them inside like my jacket. So I am leaving my backpack that has like my bedroll, my bell, my candle, my crowbar.
I've never seen someone so distraught with a crowbar behind him.
Well, doesn't interacting with stuff make you visible again?
It shouldn't.
It's only if you want.
Hostile action.
Only if I do take a hostile action. Let's see real quick here. Where's my... The effect ends early if you attack or cast a spell.
Okay.
So as long as I don't do either of those two things, I'm fine.
Well, casting a spell we don't have a problem with.
I can't. So...
As long as
Yep.
Percy doesn't magically go murder hobo on us.
I've thought about that, how I will play it out.
I could carry it myself. I would be essentially carrying both our sets of gear.
Well-
but when I wild shape, that will all meld into me.
Gotcha. Why don't I just take out my thieves' tools, I'll put those in my pouch, and I'll leave the rest of my pack with Drax. Because Drax can carry, he can carry tons of stuff. I will, however, so I have my vials on me. I've got 2 potions of invisibility, potion of water breathing, and 3 potions of... Do you have a potion of cure wounds?
I have a potion of healing, yes.
1. Okay, I have 3 of them. I just wanted to make
so
sure...
do I
Okay.
have 3 of them.
I just wanted to make sure that you had some on you, so because if something happened to me, I can't deliver them to myself.
Yeah. I also have the ability to cast healing spells. So,
Yep.
of course, not while I'm in wolf form, but I wouldn't be able to use a potion in wolf form either.
So I do have it set up on here if you need to see it, like if you ever question me about something. All my other stuff is in my backpack. So the only things that aren't in my backpack are my weapons, armor, poisons, my water skin.
Yeah, I like the fact that they added the ability to put stuff in containers.
I do have my caltrops in a pouch on my hip. And my harmonica. So.
Estoyo, do we want to go wolf now or wait till we're closer?
From where we are here, it is not too far of a hike, only 10 minutes or less, so either way. It would probably also be a good idea to, if you plan on going invisible, do it sooner rather than later.
It would probably be easier for us to sneak up as wolves than...
Draw less suspicion that way.
Is Anastasia going with us?
Kind of looks over. She's just kind of sitting in the dirt. No, she will stay here.
Okay.
Until we decide further course of action. The less bodies we have going up front with this. However, it is probably for the best that we be ready to fight just in case it goes south.
What's up?
And with
Why
that,
did the twins just wake up?
she kind of like
Before going
gives a head nod and
No, it's Isaac.
shifts into...
Guess
Well.
what's magic cards?
Hey!
Hi!
How's it going?
What's that?
We just ate and Isaac wanted to stop in and look at magic cards, so.
Hey, well, smile, you're on camera.
Where?
Not bad.
Boom,
There,
boom,
there,
boom.
and there.
Not bad.
Hi, camera.
I'll have to edit it out now.
Sorry to ruin your recording section.
Oops.
We'll just leave it for B-roll.
Yeah, it'll just be B-roll, it's fine. Nice, Joey!
We'll be taking a while when the new set comes out. Put 'em off
So you
the
haven't
side.
missed much, we just started. Felzar took off in the sky, he's going to fly around and kind of scope the place out. You, Nox, and Kai, and Anastasia are standing back, just kind of waiting while Estoyo, Theo, and Percy go up stealthily to kind of poke around the entrance.
We're gonna hang back and act as if Plan A through C goes awry,
Don't waste some money.
Plan D is just a fuck up. So we just go in.
Sounds like a plan. So, you guys have just set off. Are you shifting into wolf form immediately then?
How far is it from where we're at to the basically the entrance?
About 10 minutes.
We can't see it though at this point.
We'll get about halfway there and then shift. I think that would probably be our best bet.
I decided I took my one item out of my pack, which was my thieves' tools, out of my backpack and put it in my vest, and I left my backpack with you
Which has literally everything else.
until I return.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully you don't have to carry it anywhere, because hopefully I just go in, do my recon, come back.
I mean, I can shift for about 3 hours. I'm assuming that Estoyo is about the same or maybe a little bit longer, depending on what level he is. So it's not a big deal.
I'm a big guy. I can carry it.
Yeah. He will go ahead and shift almost immediately, just for the purpose of having heightened sense, like a heightened sense of smell, just in case.
If he is, then I will.
I figured they would want to do that for eyesight and smell and hearing.
Yeah. So the current kind of atmosphere it's fairly cloudy out. You are fairly high up in the mountains, so the air is a little bit thicker than how it's been on the ground. It's also colder. You guys at last session, I believe, put on your cold weather gear and everything. So there is still a chill breeze that runs through the air. There is the tips of the ground is covered in snow. It's not super deep. It's basically like maybe 1 inch, maybe 2, but not much more than that. But it does leave enough to leave footprints. But at the same time, it is a like tundra. There are trees up on this side of the mountain, so things like wolves and stuff wouldn't be uncommon up here, along with other wildlife.
Couple of questions. Well, a statement and a couple of questions. After you told me that about the weather, I would switch out my full gloves and take my fingerless gloves out of my pack and swap them out, so that I have the gloves without fingers. So if I have to shoot in an emergency, I can.
Okay.
That's one. 2, will we be coming up on the entrance, or will we be coming down on the entrance?
Down.
That's what I thought our plan was, but I wanted to make
Yep.
sure. Okay.
You guys are currently above it, and you'll be coming down like a downward slope.
Okay.
Alright, have you taken the invisibility potion yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to wait until we get to... I wouldn't say until we're within sight, but you said it's roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, because the potion only lasts for an hour. So I'd like to be to where it's like, oh, when we come over this little rise, that's where the entrance will be below us. So like that. Or when we come around the side of the mountain, it'll be below us. At that point, then I would take the invisibility potion.
Okay. I'm gonna have you and Astoria roll perception checks, specifically smelling.
Rolled a 6 and a 9.
Ow!
Alright, Astoria rolled pretty good. He got 17. So I think that brings him up to a 20. So as you guys are walking, he's kind of, leading with you guys kind of following very close behind. And his footprints kind of start to slow, so it kind of sticks his nose up in the air.
Can I make a suggestion that, like, Estoya's going first, and then me in the middle, and then Theo behind, so that Theo can try to walk in my tracks and cover my tracks with more wolf tracks?
Sure.
As best we can.
Yeah, Stoyo puts his nose in the air, sniffs a couple times, and then...
I will use my 1 time per day to speak with animals. And I will say, very quietly, what's the matter?
We're close.
So, time for the potion. Okay. Alright. I will drink my potion.
Okay. As soon as you drink it, you...
Yeah, to mark 1 off. Alright. I have 1 hour of 1 hour of invisibility. So I will turn to Theo and Estoyo and just kind of wave and head off.
So you start going. So there is from where you are, the kind of mountain begins to kind of start sloping downward. It's not steep at all. It's just that like gentle curve in the ground. And it opens up along this wide but straight bend that runs along the side of the mountain, where there's a cluster of trees that also kind of runs along the side, making it kind of hard to spot from like the bottom up. And there is probably about 60 feet away or so after the bend kind of narrows out, where there is a 10 foot wide, 10 foot tall kind of entrance that leads inside the mountain. Outside, standing
Like a cave opening, or
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a
Yep, like a
cave
cavern.
or like something they had chiseled. Like a
No,
man-made.
it is looks natural.
Okay.
But outside of it, there are 2 humanoids on either side. They have actually, let me make a perception check.
Good time for that. 21.
21. That they
17
are
for 21.
outfitted in fairly nice armor. They have weapons stashed at their side. There's like swords and crossbows on their backs. They are making small talk with one another, kind of just looking around. They appear to be guards.
Does there appear to be any kind of like path or track leading up to this at all?
Like footprints on the ground, or
Well, yeah, is there like a path where they've been coming and going, like on their patrols or whatever? I don't know if you've thought of it, but I thought, oh boy, this would be a real way for Collin to, and it would make sense too. It wouldn't just be you screwing me. My footprints might show up in the snow, so they might not be able to see me, but they'd be like, where the hell are those footprints coming from? So that's why I was thinking, is there like a worn path where either like when their patrols leave the cave, or if they go out somewhere and do their business, where there's not a lot of snow on the ground?
Looking around with your perception check, leading up to where they're at, there are no footprints in the snow. From like, because it runs along the edge of the mountain, and where the entrance is basically towards the end of where this cliff is. So the only way here is to come from the direction that you guys are coming from, or if you were to scale it upward, but you would need gear to do that.
And I do, but that would make noise to like hammer a python in, or
Right.
which wouldn't matter anyway because my Titans are in my backpack. Which are with Drex. So,
How long does your speak with animals last?
I don't think we gave it a duration. It works. We kind of said it would work as like a one-time of the spell. So I think it's like a minute or two.
In the best fashion that I can, I would like to encourage Stoyo to help me cause a distraction.
Yeah, that's so last 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was looking
kind of
for
thinking
what
the same
the,
thing.
because we said it was like the gnome racial ability is what I have. It's not actually the spell after I think about it. So, yeah. Yep, 10 minutes. So, yeah, I will kind of, how far away from me are they right now? Like, are they just kind of like around the bend?
Yeah, basically kind of waiting up there, but you guys are both close enough that you can kind of peer over like the bend and see kind of the same thing.
Yeah, so I'll use my speak with animals, and in wolf, I'll be like, hey guys, can you give me a distraction over here? Guard's right in front of the door. But it comes out as, oh!
You go first. We'll cover your tracks.
Okay. So I'll not, well, I guess I can still talk to someone. You got it. Thumbs up. Which they can't see. Percy doesn't think of that. And he makes his way up towards the entrance.
So as you're kind of walking, Stoyo kind of turns and like and then starts walking behind, but then kind of as he's walking like in your steps, kind of like starts like swirling his feet in the ground, kind of flops over on his body and rolls around, and then begins kind of going into like a frenzy, like.
I join him.
Red wolf.
And he, as you kind of run up and join in,
I'll make it look like we're
kind
of play hunting?
He takes like swings at you to make it look as if you're fighting.
because like a pack of wolves would do that occasionally to try to like, teach each other how to hunt and stuff. So.
As you're walking, and Astoyo and Theo kind of both go into this howling, barking frenzy. The two guards kind of immediately kind of turn their heads over and see you two kind of just rolling around in this like ravine. One of them kind of puts a smirk on his face. Percy, what are you doing?
I will, at that point, when their attention is diverted, I will attempt to slip into the opening.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Did we? I thought we. It's actually. I thought it was that they have disadvantage on any perception checks. Is that how it works? I looked this up last week.
I believe so.
It doesn't give me any bonuses to my stealth, does it? That's why I'm asking this.
I think it gives you advantage.
See, and that's what-
No, it gives them disadvantage.
That's what I was
on
gonna say. I don't
perception.
think it gives me advantage. I think it gives them disadvantage to perceive me.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I'll just go ahead and roll your stealth check anyway.
Well, it's not great. It was a 4 on the die.
For what, a 15?
Yeah. Still only a 15.
So as you get closer,
That's 11.
you see that the cave entrance, while large, does kind of start to shrink almost immediately after the first like 5 feet inside, 5-10 feet inside, where it narrows down into like a 5-foot hallway.
Okay.
So, D&D Beyond says that it's impossible to see you except without magic, or a special sense. You are essentially hiding and heavily obscured. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and the creatures in your attack rolls have advantage. There's nothing about sight.
Okay.
So they just plain can't see you.
Right. So they'd have to have something like tremor sense or blind sight.
Yeah, a stealth roll would be
Blood scent.
basically to
Yeah, I
make
was
sure
gonna
you're
say,
not
unless
creating
Making noise.
noise or
Yep.
smell.
Yeah, unless they can smell you.
Okay. See, I'd read something similar to that. Was why I was sorry.
No, you're fine.
So it narrows down to a 5-foot passage. Is it dark in here?
It is dim.
Okay, so it's not like pitch black, but I can't see fully.
Right.
Because I just realized, guess where my hooded lantern is? In my backpack that I gave to Drex.
Huh. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad you don't have a cell phone to call mom or
So
dad.
how-
But I
Right.
left my homework on the
As you
table.
are approaching the entrance, what are you doing here? I right now I still have you basically outside.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Well, as
looking.
their attention's diverted, basically my intent is to either slip in, depending on, I don't know, like, are they on either side of it? Are they
Yeah.
either slip in behind them
Yeah,
or
they're
kind of slip
positioned
between them?
on either side of the.
Okay, like if their like backs are against the cave wall or against the cliff wall, I'll just try to slip past them and through. If they're standing like out on the path, I'll just try to slip behind them and into the cave entrance.
You would basically be going.
So I guess what I'm thinking is like if they're here and here, well, let's say this is the cave wall. So if they're like here and here, I would like try to come by and slip through. But if they happen to be like here and here, then I would try to sneak behind them in here.
Yeah, you would basically the first way. You would have to go in between them.
Okay. That's what I'll have to do then.
Okay. So you do so.
I will try to. How wide is the path that I'm on? I mean,
Right now, it's fairly.
before I get to the cave, I mean, is there enough room that I can kind of give a little berth? I mean, I would try to give as much berth as I could. I wouldn't like be like going,
Yeah.
you know, like
'cause you're-
sneaking right by like that.
Yeah, you're on like a 20-foot cliffside here. So from where they're standing guarding the cave to the edge on the other side is about 20 feet.
Okay,
So there's
Yeah. So then I would try to kind of loop around and then go right between them as best I could.
So if I ever get the feeling that somebody's standing next to me and I can't see them, it's just Percy trying to see
Yeah,
them.
it's just Percy trying to stealth.
so two things. So first is that you do slip by. They don't seem to notice or stop you. And when you step inside, there is 3 different paths to pick from.
Okay.
There is a path that immediately goes to the left and to the right. That lead to rooms this way, and then the main hall continues going forward about another 15-20 feet before it also opens up into.
How far is the passageways before they open into a room?
10 feet on either side.
Okay, if that's all the farther it is, I'll like just take the one on the left and just stick my head around.
Yep. So you walk in here, and you hear the guards behind you.
Oh.
We've got a live one.
They're werewolves. Or vampires, and they can smell me.
Yeah, I was gonna say something before it sounds it's
And
fine.
they kind of, their heads start turning on swivels, kind of looking now. Stoyo kind of leads you along to cover up Percy's tracks by just kind of tumbling around in the snow, trying to kind of shake them off. But you guys do notice as you are biting, the guards seem to have stopped paying attention to you and are actively kind of turning their heads and are moving as though they're going to turn inward.
I will sit down in front of the entrance and howl.
Is this hallway
You're starting a howl?
5
I'm starting
feet
to howl.
long? Or 5 feet wide? You said it's 10 feet roughly from the main corridor into
Yes.
the room.
Yes,
And
five
it's 5 feet wide?
Yeah.
Okay. I have some ideas. Do I see anything in the room ahead of me? Like, do I see light coming out of it, or quick perception check?
Which way?
I went left. Because I was going to go left and just peek my head in and see what it was.
Okay. So there is a little light in here still, coming from above, where there is like small holes in the mountain that go directly to
Interesting.
the top that provide little kind of beams of light that shine through.
Also works for ventilation.
But as you kind of are poking your head in here, the mountain isn't all rock. It's also got a lot of ice in it. And so these beams, as they shine down and hit the ice, provide a false sense of illumination.
Gotcha.
But this room that you kind of duck into, there are a few like furnishings that are around. There is a medium-sized circular table that has a few chairs next to it. There is another table kind of along the back wall that doesn't currently have anything on it, but this looks like it could be a break room of some kind, but there's really not a lot here.
Any exits? Other than the one I came in. Okay.
Really deception check for me.
I will try to. So I'm just picturing it. So I came in. I went left. There's a door here. There, the guards. So the guards are like back here.
So you came in 10 feet, and then you turned left and went 10 feet.
Right.
Into this room.
Right.
Yes.
So I will and there's nobody in there. I don't see any people in this room or any.
Okay.
I haven't seen any beings other than the 2 guards.
Right.
So what I will do then, I'm assuming I went so I came in this way, and then I went this way. So I will plaster myself against the wall right here, back against the wall, so that if the guards come in this room, I'll try to slip out behind them.
Okay.
Actually,
60.
Okay.
not right next to the door. I'm going to slide over a little bit. In case I don't want them to be right next to me, because then I know they can smell me.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure that's how they notice me.
So one of them kind of stops as you sit and howl, and he turns and looks at you and goes to grab the crossbow on his back. He says, "Shut up!" Intimidation check.
Seven. That almost looked like Cock County.
You kind of, he has his hand on his crossbow and he seems a little shaken.
I will, as
There's a bear standing behind me.
as I'm plastered against the wall, I will very carefully take out my crossbow and make sure it's loaded, so that they do follow me.
So you do hear the sound of footsteps from the hallway, but they don't stop. They continue past the room you're in and continue heading deeper.
Okay.
So they would have gone down the middle path.
Okay, so I will real quick then, once they pass, I will quickly, hastily go and check the room on the other side. to the right. Go this way.
So this room is much smaller than the other one, and as you get closer, you kind of stop and think if you want to continue getting closer, because as you come, so you come out the 10 feet from the other room and are
So I'm in the main hallway.
Main hall, and you're beginning your trek down the 10 feet down the other way,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a couple steps towards that way, and there is just an immediate stench of like rotten death that like makes you stop in place and almost like begin gagging.
So, sorry, I'm sitting here thinking, which doesn't make for good audio, so I will express my thoughts out loud as, like, the mental processes Percy's going through. It's like, oh, it smells awful, but maybe it'll cover my smell if I go in there. I can wait till that guy comes back and then take off. So he will carefully, with the crossbow still up in one hand, sneak up and look in the room.
Okay.
Hoping that the stench from this room will cover his smell when the guard returns.
Along the way, I need you to make a Constitution check for me, please.
Constitution check or Constitution save?
Saving throw.
It's not my worst saving throw. It's not great, but it's not my worst.
It's not strength.
Oh no. That's a 7 on the die for a 10.
For a 10.
Somebody's up chugging his lunch.
Yeah. So as you do kind of get to a point of where you do make it to the room to at least kind of be able to see what's inside,
Mm-hmm.
but doing so, maybe it's a combination of the sight, the smell, whatever. It does make you lose the contents of your stomach as you quickly kind of turn your head to the side and kind of get sick. Because in this room, it's only 15 by 10 foot, so it's not super big.
Very small.
There
I think it's
is
smaller than a hand.
a pile of bodies that are many corpses just stacked. Some of them are, they still have flesh attached. Some of them have started turning into skeletons, decomposing. Yeah, there is just a just stack of maybe 30, 40 various bodies that are just thrown on top of each other. Behind it, there is a opening, like at the bottom part of the wall. There's like a small half circle of an opening here that's kind of looking by the marks and everything on the ground. At some point, these bodies get pushed down there like a chute.
For lack of a better word, it's the incinerator. It's the trash compactor.
Star Wars.
Vampire outhouse.
So Percy will take a few minutes, and after he's retched, and he's like, "Is it still really cold in the cave?"
No colder than it was outside, but I mean it is cold. Yes.
Okay. He will finish, and then he gets to where he's just dry heaves, and then he
Dry heaving or choking, Troy?
both, and so he takes his.
Does it stay invisible?
I assume once I've expelled it, there's a pile of vomit on the ground.
So not. I think that's.
It's no longer being worn or carried.
That is true.
Huh.
What happens if you take one of the dead bodies and just toss it over your wretch?
Well, I thought about that. So he takes his gloves and wipes his cheeks, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to throw those gloves away when I get done." I was going to take the gloves off and wipe my mouth and then just throw them in the pile of dead bodies. But if it's still cold enough that I probably need the gloves, I won't do that. should have taken off my bomber hat and featured my bomber hat. And then just tossed it on the bodies. But,
Have to make great buckets when you don't got any other choice.
he will, however, step into this room. I mean, are these humanoid bodies, you said? Or are they all different kinds? Like humanoid, animal? Every
primarily, actually no, all humanoid.
Okay. So he's like still like doing the...
Yeah.
Even though there's nothing in his stomach, you know. But he wants to try to see if it's discernible at all how these people were killed, how they died.
Give me a medicine check.
I'm pretty sure they
but
weren't taking
at-
sack lunches to work.
At
Well, the
disadvantage.
vampires were.
Because it is
What,
it's
Zax?
too much for you to get too up and close.
First roll was a 7 for an 8. Second roll was a 5 for a 6.
These vampire sack lunch.
There's
So no idea.
yeah. There's too many that are in various different
Yeah.
states of decomposition that it's without kind of really getting in there and poking around, it's hard to tell.
However, I do think that this would be enough common sense that he would know, obviously these probably weren't vampires, because vampires don't die like that.
So if vampires
Right?
comes across the body,
So at least that's what he's thinking.
what is that considered?
Is there like, he would like, if he could
Yeah.
find like
Yeah.
some clothes off of one of them, or some, not a body, but just like something to cover up his vomit?
That's what her preference was like.
Because he's worried if they smelled him,
Yeah, vampire
that
masquerade.
they might smell, you know,
That
yeah. Even though he was close enough to the room, he probably figures, well, they can't smell anything over this stench, but just trying to find something to make it not so apparent that it's there.
sure.
So he'll do that, and then
Fire where
he will actually like try to hang out here,
to things, drugs are,
um,
and you have to get them by
knowing that I only have an hour of my invisibility potion.
people who
He will hang out here for a few minutes and see if he hears the footsteps return.
Okay.
So you can
Give me a perception check.
Disadvantage because of the sickened.
Not this time, because you're not getting closer to it. I assume you probably step farther away.
I gotta find another set of dice. That was an 8 for a 12.
12.
I don't have my whole bag of dice. I think I put them in my other bag.
You do not hear anything.
I was gonna say you're sitting at a table with people who have plethora of dice. You need
Well, I have a plethora of dice. I just don't have them with me. Like,
But you do not hear anything.
okay, so. And this hallway is only 5 feet wide,
Yes.
so only one person can pass
Yes.
at a time.
Comfortably, yeah.
There's no shame in disengaging, but
Yeah,
that's your call.
I know. I will try to make my way down the hallway for a ways.
Like deeper inward.
Yes.
Okay.
To see what I can see, to see what I hear. I mean, maybe it only goes down a little ways and it opens up into a bigger room, which is why that guy hasn't came back yet.
Well, that you do know that to be the case from when you look down the middle.
Okay.
The path, it went down a little bit longer than the other two,
Okay.
but it also opened up into a what looked to be a larger room.
Okay. So that's what I will do. I will attempt to make my way into that room and see what it can do.
Okay.
And I will say I've made a mental note that if worse comes to worse, don't know where it goes, but there is that little hole in that other room where they shove the dead bodies. So,
Okay.
Respect. If push comes to shove, I'd probably do the same thing.
Badge hours afterward, don't worry.
So you go down
I'm gonna push people to radius.
about 15 feet down the narrow hallway until it does open up into this fairly large room where the room is large, but it itself doesn't seem to hold a purpose. The reason it it is a big room is because it has multiple paths that branch off from it. With a set of 4 different openings. There's one to your hard right that goes off that way. There's another one in front of you that goes straight. There's one that goes to the hard left, and then along that western path, there is a split where it also goes forward.
Still just low light in here.
Yes.
No torches on the walls or anything like that.
The further you've gotten into this room, the kind of darker it's becoming.
Still no signs of people. How big is this room?
It's
In dimension, roughly? I mean, I assume it's kind of like round or oval shape.
yeah, it's oval, like probably 25 by 20. It's
Okay, so it's not
It's-
huge.
it's wider than it is taller.
It seems to be kind of just like a hub
basically
more than anything. There's no furnishings in here or anything.
Nope, just different paths.
I want to go to the path that keeps going straight and deeper in and listen and see if I hear anything.
So you do that. You go deeper in. You see where it.
Looking all around, not just from side to side, just to make sure that nobody's coming down any of those other corridors, and also looking up to make sure there's nobody or nothing on the ceiling above me.
Sure.
So
So you do this, and it's another 10 feet down the straight hallway here, where it this cave or this pathway connects to another left, right, and center,
I'm listening. I'm trying to find my notepad.
where to the left and right the hallway branches off, but directly in front of you there is a closed door.
Ah, so my first door. Okay.
Is it a jar?
It's not.
No, it's a door. Not a jar, a door.
Oh, I thought about bringing a little shit there, but I'll wait till after we do the contract.
Window, door, down door. Read it's a jar.
He's just drawing a rough map so that he can show the party.
So there's this little invisible door in the cave with a piece of paper out of a pen.
The pen and paper just floating in midair.
It's being worn or carried, so it's not floating in the air. They can't see it.
Can you imagine us walking in and you just hear like frantic scribbling, but you cannot see where it's coming
So
from?
it opened up into a room. How big?
The
About
one
the same
you're currently
size.
in?
This room when I came to it.
It's a little bit bigger than that, like, break room.
Okay, and it has a door opposite me.
Yeah. So that room, there was the. Let me scribble it down.
Well, just you said there were 2 paths here.
Yep. So
There's a path here.
So-
This is the circular room.
yeah. So this one that goes this way, it continues going this way, and then this one splits off
From it.
from it. Okay. And then this continues going.
So it just kind of goes like so.
Yep.
And then this one opens up into another room.
Yep. So this one, there's a hallway. So right here, there is where it goes off this way, and then right in front of it, there's a.
Oh, so it's not a room, it's a hallway. Gotcha.
It's a
cavern.
It opens up where the hallway that you're in goes directly left and right,
Gotcha.
or if you go about 5 feet in front of you, there's a closed door.
The inside jokes.
Okay. I will look both left and right to see if I see or hear anything. I will even take a minute or 2 to stop here. And if I determine that the coast is clear, I would then like to go listen at the door.
After kind of waiting for a minute or 2, you don't hear anything.
Nobody's coming.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so then I will go to the door. Is there a handle? Is there a keyhole?
This one has a.
Is it just like a, what am I trying to say? Like
It's-
the
Yeah.
handle, like the built-in handle? That,
Yeah. It is a wooden door that has like the steel metal curved handle on it.
Gotcha. I will listen at the door.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Come on, better. Jeez, my bikes hate me tonight. It's a 4 for an 8. I have rolled one roll
Listening-
that was double digits.
Listening to the other side, you
DC 5.
don't hear much of anything.
I've only rolled once with these. I'll try it one more time. Okay.
I got you, man. Don't worry. So real quick. So Percy's been in the cave for about 10 minutes now. The guards have disappeared inside. What are you and Estoyo doing outside, Theo?
Calling the whole thing off.
Probably not much we can do at this point. Except for kind of wait. Because the guards are gone, right?
They went into the cave.
We,
Guess we could cautiously move inside. We'll just kind of go into the entrance and look around for them.
Okay. So you kind of start walking towards Estoyo. Like, walks behind you cautiously. Yeah, where you do kind of look inside and you see, similar to what I described to him, the initial 10-foot kind of clearing that starts off a 10-foot wide, but almost immediately kind of narrows into that 5-foot path, where there is a left and right hallway branching, or the path you're on continues deeper in. I would say the both of you in wolf form, as soon as you kind of make it into that, past that first 10-foot clearing, immediately pick a stench of death, decay, and rot coming from to your right.
Unless I have a weird reaction, I am going to back off.
Quick question. Do wolves have dark vision?
Not really.
I don't think they do, but I'm just asking because you may be able to still see me even ahead with your dark vision. I'd be about probably 90 to 100 feet in front of them.
Now the
Okay.
yeah,
Keen hearing and smell.
Okay.
and the paths aren't like a perfect straight line
Gotcha.
either. They're kind of like
Kind of.
I can probably smell you up ahead.
Is this real quick question? Is this the first, other than the furniture in the break room? Is this the first thing I've seen that's man-made? Is this door?
Yes.
Everything else has been like natural cavern. Mostly. I mean, there might be some
It's-
working of it, but
It's hard to tell which caverns and hallways that are here have been,
okay.
perfectly
Okay.
nature made them, or
Deliberate
what have
or-
been fitted to a company.
I'm not a dwarf. Okay.
One of our first characters, we don't have a dwarf.
So, sings is how Percy doesn't know Troy rolled a 4. He hears nothing behind that door. He's going to try to open it really quiet and slowly if it'll open. Just
Kind of, it slowly opens.
still invisible. I just try to peek my eye in. Like literally like opening the door. Peek my one eye in to see if I can see anything.
So, lining
Literally
the,
just an inch.
as you kind of peek your eye in, you're looking. Is Percy's right-handed or left-handed?
He's right-handed.
Right-handed, so you.
So he's
kind
opening the
of-
door left-handed, crossbow in his right hand.
So yeah, when you're peeking in, you're probably eyeing the left side of the room. So all along the left side, there are 7, 8, 9, 10 of these like chambers that they are cylindrical, where they are half filled with some sort of liquid, and inside are humanoids, people, that are strapped with a bunch of different cords that are just incubating in these containers.
Not that Percy would know this, but just so that I get a sense of what you're saying, it's kind of like...
You found a mad science lab.
Yeah, kind of like dead animals being suspended in formaldehyde.
Yes.
I was gonna say either that or you found a refrigerator.
It's the mad science lab. This makes me uncomfy.
He would at once be horrified, but I also think he would be fascinated.
Not should be 100% fascinated with this.
So he's going to kind of, as best he can, he's going to attempt to look around for any sign of movement or anybody or anything moving. Like, just holding the door still, that
Just kind of open it a little farther.
maybe like 2 inches, but mostly like being a rogue, being, you know, with his training and everything, he's not he's using like his peripheral vision. Like, does he see shadows moving, that kind of thing? You know, can he sense anything? Does his spidey sense start tingling?
Sure.
Even though I know that's not a real thing.
So you open it up just a little bit farther, enough to kind of expand your field of vision a little bit. And the right side of the room has the same thing. It mirrors the other side. So lining both walls of this are these chamber-looking things.
I'm not even sure how he would relate this.
In the middle of the room, there is a series of about 3 tables that are kind of linked together, going vertically, and kind of sprawled across the table on the... So there's the table that's in the middle of the 3, and then so the 2 tables that are on the ends have corpses on them that have been dissected and cut open, and the one in the middle, there is like a bunch of papers and other various...
I know exactly what you're describing. I don't know that Percy would know exactly what you're describing.
There are also you do see the 2 guards in here from earlier, and they are conversing with someone who is kind of outfitted in like surgical gear.
Scrubs.
Rubber gloves, smock.
Yeah. But it's basically just gloves and a apron.
Can I make anything out about this person? Does it look to be a male, female, human?
The person that has like
The non-guard, the one non-guard in the room.
Yeah.
The mad scientist.
So yeah, you can tell kind of from this distance. It is a female. She is elven. You can the kind of pointed ears kind of give it away, but her skin has a much darker tone to it than most elves you've seen. A dark gray, purple tint to it. And they are, she is conversing with the guards. And as you kind of hone in on them, they are talking like in a hush, but not whispering, but they are still kind of far away, and you're trying to...
Oh, that's fine, but could I at least, what I know from what little snippets I can, not that I would understand what they're saying, but are they speaking in common, or are they speaking some language I don't understand?
They are not, no, they are speaking, to you it sounds like gibberish.
Just so you know, the only languages I have are Common, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant, so I'm assuming it's none of those.
Right.
Troy has an idea, Percy would know. So, at that, I really want to see if I can figure out where the, what's it called? Divinium?
Divinite.
Divinite? I haven't seen any signs of Divinite so far. How much longer would I have roughly? Probably, has it been 20 minutes or so probably at this point, do you think? I'm just trying to decide how far I want to push my luck. First things first, let's gently close the door
Okay.
and back up. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go left or right. That's what I'm deciding.
Three.
No, you always go left. Always, when in a dungeon, always go left.
Depending on which dungeon you're in.
Always go left. So he's going to go down the left. From here. He's going to go this way.
Okay. So when you go down this way, you meet a turnoff that connects these two together.
Okay.
And then right in front of where these connect, it also continues upward.
And this is solid here.
It does go on, but it leads to what you can see is a dead end. It's just crumbled part of the mountain.
Do this. I want to go down the dead end real quick.
Okay.
And just inspect it to make sure it's a dead end or if it's secret door or secret tunnel. Secret tunnel! Anything like that? Oh, there we go. 18 on the die for a 25.
Put away.
5. Yeah, as you're kind of checking the different kind of cracks and stuff that are kind of buried in the rubble. Nothing about it seems to be like a hidden mechanism or anything. You feel like this is a genuine collapsed part.
Okay. So after taking a minute or two
However, I will say that you probably infer that at one point this was a path that led somewhere that caved in.
Oh, okay. Okay. He will.
And that was, so just so you know, that was down this way.
Oh, it went this way. Okay.
Yep, so there's a path that does go up, but it keeps going. The one that had the dead end went off towards me.
Gotcha. You guys gotta decipher my chicken scratch.
I can read it.
Better than mine.
So if you can read my dad's handwriting, I'm pretty sure I can read just about anybody's.
Isn't it just pretty?
Not wanting to go deeper beyond where the guards and she were to get cut off from the rest of the party, he will make his way back down here and then this way. Down this hallway.
So that hallway takes you another 10 feet before you are met with a similar dead end.
Can I do another investigation check again? That's a 15 for a 22.
22?
Yep.
Kind of the same as before. Nothing about this seems to kind of hold any like secret passage or anything like that.
Okay.
However, because you did roll pretty high on both of them, these collapses seem intentional. Like these pathways
Like they use magic or something to.
These pathways led to something on the other side that they cut them off.
They didn't like that.
part of me wants to say this is the minds of Moria reference, where there's a reason why they're sealed off, but the other part of me is like, that's a shiny red button, and I want to push that.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out there because this is what Percy's thinking is. It's Troy's thinking, but it's Percy's thinking. Is that this is their hideout, and the divinite isn't really their thing, but because the divinite's here, people want the divinite, so they're like, oh, let's just block off the divinite so nobody can come get it. So, he will, one last effort. He's gonna go back down here to the hub room, and then I'll go down this hallway real quick.
Okay.
Take a quick peek.
So this hallway will carry you down for about 40 feet.
Ooh, long one.
And it isn't, like, overall it doesn't really matter too much, but it isn't like completely straight. It like kind of like
Gotcha.
snakes and stuff.
And I kind of assume that with all these, it's
And it
generally
does-
they're going that
Yeah,
direction.
and it does kind of snake more in a like northeastern rather than straight to the
Okay.
right,
Okay.
where it when it does kind of eventually open up, it is another probably the biggest room that you've been in so far, and that is because the center from the top of the room, kind of running at a diagonal angle to from the northwestern corner to the southeastern corner, there is a 20-foot wide, running that whole distance of a lake.
Okay, so it's like a huge cavern with an underground lake.
And you do see on the
Should I pull? Shit, was it Mary? Was it Mary that threw the stones in the lake and awoke the Kraken?
Oh, I thought you were gonna make a reference
The
to
Mines of Moria?
Yeah, I thought
on
you
the
were gonna
other
make a
side
reference to
of
Chum
the
and throw
lake.
him in the water.
There is it does kind of open up to, you know, more ground, and there is a tunnel on the other side that goes deeper upward.
And it's down here.
Opposite side. It goes up here and it continues going this way.
But it's on the other side of the water.
Right.
Anyway. Alright, so having seen that, he will sneak back to the center room, do a quick look both ways, listen both ways. If nobody's coming, doesn't hear anything.
So between this excursion, kind of going down there, checking it out, coming back, waiting, listening, it's about another 10 minutes. So
Yep.
30 minutes total.
Yep.
He's kind of getting really close to not having any more time left.
The
You're gonna be coming real
Ice.
close.
That's why I'm gonna head out. That's what I was getting ready
ice
to do.
along the kind of top of the hallways that kind of connects it to the mountain. The ice like clicks on like a light, and this ice just super bright runs all down along these hallways like they were decorated for the holidays.
I approve.
Yay, icicle lights!
I approve.
Minorly.
Probably some kind of screwy
And
glitter
there's
dust
this
thing that now I can
weird-
be seen.
There's this weird like kind of like the Northern Lights, like the aurora
mhm.
that like shimmers in the ice like down like a
Kind of like a
pulse.
prismatic.
Yep. It's like it's pulsing.
So yeah, at this I will.
Do we see this?
Are you guys outside the cave, or are you in it just hanging by the
We're
entrance?
just hanging by the entrance.
Yeah, you would see it then.
Oh shit.
I will. Real quick. Seeing that, like, Percy would be like, "Ooh, cool, lava lamp," and then he'll make his way back towards the entrance.
Out of here.
Yeah, like not overly hurrying because he doesn't want to make noise, but like, whereas before he was kind of going slow and steady and like every step was measured and he was, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now he's kind of like,
Your brain doesn't make me good.
he's trying to be quiet, but he's trying to hurry, but he's also scanning ahead to see if the guards are back at their post. So that's what he's doing at this point, heading back towards the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
This session is gonna age for you for a few years.
What are you doing?
Kind of panicking. Kind of hoping that he's coming out soon.
At this point, back in camp now,
I-
he started to pace.
I think that
Felzar has not come back yet either.
I think that Estoyo and I are probably going to back out of the entrance because, yeah,
Okay.
shit's going down.
Okay. So you kind of back up. Do you go kind of back up, like all the way up, back up the trail? Do you just kind of back out, like...
I'm just going to slowly back out a little bit because I'm hoping that Percy catches up to us and somehow says, yeah, go.
Here.
Okay.
So I'm making my way back towards the entrance,
Make our way.
trying to see if the guards are back at their post before I beat feed it really fast.
Sure. So about 5 minutes, you kind of backtrack your way to the entrance. You stop, you listen, you don't hear anything. It doesn't look like they've come back.
So then once I get back to the entrance, as soon as I step outside, assuming I see Estoyo and Theo, I'll be like, time to get out of here, guys. Let's go. And I will try to climb back up and around the way we came.
So you guys are kind of sitting there. You hear Percy's voice speak to you.
Let's go.
He's still invisible. Kind of startles you for a moment. But it is also a comfort to hear his voice as you guys kind of turn and start going back up this ravine.
I'm surprised he didn't get eaten, Estoyo.
30 seconds after you guys meet up and are heading back up here, you hear this thunderous crashing sound, like an explosion went off. And
Did I do that?
you guys, back
That
waiting
granny
for
from-
them, hear
Oh, I was thinking of
Well, that
purple.
sounds good.
and then you hear a rumble.
Like,
Avalanche!
avalanche rumble?
Oh god.
Does it sound like it's coming our way? Does it get like getting louder towards us?
From
I think I know what happened.
where you guys are, I would, you don't know if it's coming towards you, but it definitely is coming from above you. You guys were at towards the top, the upper half of the mountains, and you came downward from where you're kind of in this makeshift camp. It's above you. Whether it's like you're in the line of fire or what, you don't know.
I'm going to try to find a tree or a rock or something to hunker down next to.
Say, given my time in the mountains, would I have a good idea of how?
Give me a survival check.
I want to have every single faith in you, but if your survival's anything like your directional sense, we're fucked.
Oh no.
We're saying.
7.
So, usually, you're kind of attuned to this, but there's that, it's been 30, almost 40 minutes. No one who's left has come back yet. You're starting to get a little
Panicky.
You're a little on edge. Obviously, this big thud, crashing explosion noise, and then the immediate threat of, that sounds like an avalanche. You're kind of in too much of a panicked state to really try and hone in on what's happening, and you just know that it's happening.
Is there anything in the immediate area that we think we could hunker behind, or
There's trees
Drex.
where you guys landed. You know, it's a pretty well hidden area with trees.
But there's trees.
Percy yells to Theo, "Hey, can you wild shape into a snow dolphin and we can just swim down this mountain?"
Good one.
I give him that look that most dogs do, like,
What are you talking about,
I
Willis?
have to give me 1 second. I have to look at something.
Cool.
my
we
human
are
is crazy.
we are going to find the nearest, biggest, sturdiest tree that we can fucking find and just pray to the gods, new and old, that we are going to make it through this.
My pet human has lost his mind.
Does anyone have their handbook in a spot they can quickly get to it?
I'm on D&D on right now.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
If I can grab it, yeah.
I'm looking for
I think
Evelyn.
mine's in the cabinet.
I was looking.
Avalanche.
That would have been the second book I grabbed.
Mine is also.
Jenna, did you hand me this book?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I just took it without looking. I'm like, I'm not actually sure whose book I grabbed.
Yeah, it's got tabs in it.
I don't do that.
Jenna and I tab our books quite a bit.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Estoyo, like, as you guys are kind of sitting and hungry, he pops out of wolf form and is looking at you because he doesn't know where you're at. And he, can you fly? Any way to fly? Can you fly yet? Okay, we have to leave. And he reaches and he touches you, and he's going to attempt to cast polymorph on you.
Okay, I will let that happen.
And he is going to turn you into a giant snow owl.
Nice.
And then he himself is going to wild shape into a hawk. And then right before he wild shapes, he's like, Percy, wherever you're at, grab onto his claws. And then he pops into
I will
hawk
run
form.
over. Real quick, I'll,
Put your stuff away.
I
well,
have his stuff.
it says if I make an attack, can I shoot my crossbow at a tree? Is that considered it? No, I'm just, he would though, he
you
would
could
just,
voluntarily drop it.
well, I don't want to drop my crossbow. I
No,
would,
I mean the invisible.
well, if it was a spell, I would agree with you, but this was a potion. So I don't think you could just drop
I
it.
still think you can voluntarily drop a potion.
But basically, he would just shoot his crossbow to discharge the one bolt so he can put it away.
Or
Okay.
smack yourself in the face.
And then jump on Theo.
Okay.
Oh!
Or I'd be like, do you want to carry me or do you want me to ride you? He's Percy, that's
You're grabbing the claws!
Okay.
Whole lot of riding going on.
And for my very first ever time, I'm like, I think this is how this works!
Estoyo turns into a hawk and kind of flutters up, and you're the much bigger flying creature here.
Okay.
So once you kind of get in the air, he like rests like on your back, just kind of like looking out as you start flying high up into the sky. I will have all three of you guys give me perception checks as you take flight.
No owls have advantage on sight?
I believe
Right.
so.
I know they have
For
advantage.
a minute, so I can jump
on,
off the last
stealth checks.
possible fucking second.
I got a nat 20 for a 24.
Nobody.
Nice.
It fucking helps me.
Giant owl +5 to
I
perception.
mean, I've got 2 gems. I think
Keen.
I
Still.
just need to
Yep,
be
okay.
alive.
18.
Okay.
You're probably too worried about this new flying thing.
Not bad. So as you guys are gaining altitude, kind of getting above the tree line, instinctively you kind of turn your attention to the top, like things above you, where the sound of this avalanche was coming from, and you do see the avalanche. You do see where the snow is just bellowing down, and the initial thought process as you see this is that it is coming towards where you guys were. It is heading down towards there, but it also, to you, Percy, you only found the one way in with no other footprints around there.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems odd that if this is their doing, that they are blowing up their own entrance. But that is kind of the course of the avalanche, and you can tell where it started. It didn't start at the very top of the mountain. It started in like the middle section, and is just falling downward.
Can I see a dragon anywhere? I mean, sure, he'd probably be invisible, but...
Not if he made an attack roll to start the avalanche. Unless he went re-invisible. I guess he could have done that.
You do not.
Breath,
Okay.
re-invisible.
I guess we'll fly to where we know the rest of the group is?
Okay. So as you start flying in that direction, luckily this part of where your camp seems to be out of the line of where the avalanche is occurring from. You guys kind of were far enough off to the side that
Did it block off the entrance that we were using?
it is going to.
Okay.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
And so it was about a 10-minute walk to get to the entrance from where you guys were. So on flight, it's probably less than half that. So I would say probably after about 3 or 4 minutes, you guys see Percy on the back of a giant owl with a hawk kind of perched also on like the owl's back, as the owl like
Only
flies
assume.
and makes a landing.
Am I wearing the Speedo?
This is polymorph.
Always.
This is different.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
This time only because I don't think you were actively thinking about it before it
That's
happened.
probably true. And when I was in the wolf form, because we were actually trying to be wolves, I probably wouldn't have had it out then either, knowing that it would be kind of
Yeah,
obvious.
so the first time in the wolf form was because it was intentional. This time I would say no, just because it was a like very quick, like
Sudden.
decisive.
Well, and it wasn't me doing the spell.
Right. Yes, you guys are. You two plus Astorio fly back in to meet up with everyone else, as you guys are kind of looking around with like this look of like.
Percy immediately jumps off of Theo in owl form and looks. What'd you do, Drax?
Whoa. Gonna ask you the same question there, Percy.
I just assumed you did cast a spell or got drunk or something.
No,
The
we're
hawk
sitting here.
flies off of the owl and kind of flops back out into Astorio.
I will spend a couple of minutes doing the owl thing and trying to turn my head all the way around.
You do, and then you start thinking about what happens if you're like halfway and the spell drops. Astorio does pop out. He kind of looks to all of you like almost expecting like you guys to know.
Nox is gonna look at him, expecting him to know.
Me?
What happened?
I don't know. I thought you guys would know.
Yeah, we heard you did something.
Where's Belzar? Where's the
That's
big
a good
dragon?
question. Haven't seen him yet.
Haven't heard him yet.
No. I can try and send him a message, but then I'd also be down another third level spell slot.
Well, all I'm saying is something caused that avalanche.
Well,
That's,
Yeah, and for all we know, it could have trapped me inside.
coulda.
Yes,
Maybe.
it does
No.
seem very poor choice if this is whatever's inside the cave.
is that Theo?
Yes, we didn't have a lot of time, so I turned him into a. And he drops it. You who? feather.
A really big feather.
Yeah, we didn't have time to turn him into a bird.
Yeah, I literally just came out of the cave and we were just getting ready to head back, and that's when.
Did you do anything in the cave? Did you push any buttons?
No, I just looked around. Literally, I didn't do anything to anybody or anything.
Okay.
Did you make
I
that?
opened a door. I opened one door, peeked in. That was it. It was weird. I'll tell you about it later.
We'll put a pin in that right now. We need to track down a giant lizard that we somehow keep losing.
I
To be
told
fair, he
you
tried
at the
to
most
move.
opportune moment he was going to stab me in the back.
I
He
don't,
tried to trap me in there.
I
There
don't
was a
think
smell
that
of
was.
death in there.
I don't think that was him.
I can't see that anymore.
There's a lot of death in the cave. We
I
didn't,
believe it.
Stoyo and I didn't go very far in, but we could smell death.
I would say if he was going to try and do you dirty,
Lots of
he
death.
would have waited till all of us were in the cave before doing that.
Unless he's just got it out for me.
I doubt that.
Percy's paranoid.
Maybe I shouldn't have paid him out of that. Oh, never mind.
But yes, I am in agreement with. I think perhaps contacting one of our strongest assets in this moment in time would probably be beneficial.
Unfortunately, yes.
Time to expel more energy. And he's gonna take like a few steps away, and he's going to cast Sending to Salzar. I did it!
We got there.
This
Just
time.
took me 3 sessions.
It'll take you 3 more to remember.
We are all safe. Where are you? Are you in danger?
Okay.
There's about 15-20 seconds after you drop
Oh,
where
wow.
you get a I'm weak. Something is draining me. Fallen. Oh, that's fine. Speak quiet.
Nox is gonna look back. Change of plans.
We gotta go save the dragon, don't we?
Yeah, big boy's down.
Oh shit, that was probably bad. Okay.
He's weak, something's draining him.
Didn't have to catch location, I didn't do.
No, that's the limit of the spell. I could cast it again, but I'd be completely
If
dead.
somebody or something is powerful enough to defeat a dragon, then what good are we going to be?
Well, he is our ally. We can't just leave him.
He did say he was originally gold, right?
Means he wasn't at his full power.
That, but metallic and chromatic dragons have different
Weaknesses.
origins. Metallic dragons were crafted by the gods. Say he comes into contact with different.
Oh shit.
Didn't do that.
Well, at least that would give me proof that he is who he says he is and not just a big fat black dragon liar.
Positives.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
But
that
now we have 2 problems. One, not only is our ace in the hole literally fallen out of the sky,
But he landed on the hole.
He caused the avalanche, probably.
Impact, yeah.
well, it means that however, whoever, whatever they're doing inside the cave is, they found a way to use it.
Shit. And if it's a divinite weapon of range, then we...
That's what happened when the inside of the cave lit all up, like it was a dance club. Like I was inside a lava lamp.
Bet
What's
you're
a
right.
lava lamp?
Was it like light reflecting off of stuff?
Yeah.
Like a prism?
Yeah. Like a rainbow.
Oh boy. Do we run
It
into
was
the
like
cave and try
a
to go
shifting
in now
rainbow.
and see if we can save him in time?
Like,
Well-
you know how when it...
That's probably true.
I would say yes, but the avalanche covered it up.
Fantastic. So, well, there goes that option.
Is there
I mean, we could dig our way in, but it would take a while.
That is.
is there another entrance?
We don't know. That was what
Snow
Thelsar was
is
doing.
basically water, right?
I have a potion of water breathing.
I reach into my backpack and pull out my shovel.
Shape water.
I don't know if it works on ice.
But it's not ice, it's snow.
Technically, it's still
Then
water.
ice is still water.
It's still water.
It's just water in a frozen state.
This is the fun version.
Let's see. Water opacity. You freeze the water provided.
It can't affect snow.
But if you were to melt the snow into water,
I think that's some really good fire magic.
Where do you see that it can't affect snow?
What I was seeing was on the stack exchange. So. And then there's a question of D&D Beyond.
but it does only affect a 5-foot cube.
Right.
At
It's
a
a
time.
cantrip though.
Mhm.
Which makes it basically free. It's just time.
So I can basically every minute I can do it 10 times.
What I'm seeing is it's
There's-
a DM interpretation.
So
I
it'd
guess.
be every minute would be a 50-foot cube of snow that could be cleared.
Or shored up. You could harden some of the snow.
How big a surface area is 50?
50
Is
square
what?
feet.
50, yeah,
Well, it's
50 cubic feet.
50 cubic feet would be like 5 by 10. 5 feet, like if you had a square, 5 feet on one side, 10 feet on the other,
So
the area would be 50 square
It would
feet.
still take a while.
two of us. If he happens to have that cantrip.
There's not much the rest of us.
Shape
can do.
water, which if you have the definition of the spell, does give you the option of freezing water.
Yes.
So,
Hypothetically, if you have the option
I-
to freeze it, can't you undo that as well?
I mean, I would say so. Like, yes, it would probably work in both directions. It's not a matter of if you can do it. It's
Just
that
How long will it
How
take?
long is it going to take?
yeah.
Well, we
Quite a
could.
bit.
That's fair.
We could
It's
always
a matter of how
try.
buried it is.
Yeah, because this is
I
gonna. This
don't-
is more than just like
Yeah, I don't know
shoveling
if we
it.
want to divide forces while somebody tries to do that, while the rest of us go up and try and rescue the dragon.
Because not only are you gonna have to clear the path back down to the cave, you're gonna have to clear
Inside
out
of the cave.
the cave and anything that may have fallen inward as well.
I could just make a tunnel in the snow because I can freeze basically around us, and it thaws out with or it unfreezes in an hour. So it's a possibility. It's not impossible, but there's definitely some risks and drawbacks involved there.
I would hate to leave someone stranded up there.
Whatever we do, we all need to go to do it at the same time.
I feel like our first job or our first task should be to go find out where the souls are.
I agree with you.
See if we can help him.
Because if that cave entrance is shored up, it means if that's their only entrance or exit, it's going to take them just about as long to.
If that's the
Dig
case,
out.
let them dig it out.
Well, and on top of that, if Zelzar can be revived or rescued, his breath weapon. As a gold dragon, I think they have fire.
Well, and when he
As a
breathed
black
before, it was like a
dragon-
fire acid thing.
Yeah, so it would be a bit of a mix. So it would
Definitely eat through it.
it would certainly clear that a lot faster than I can.
It's true.
Also, whatever's up there that got him, we might have to deal with ourselves.
Yeah.
I'd rather go
Probably.
deal with that now.
And I'm already starting to run low on my magic, so...
It just means that we have to play smart.
But yeah, I think he's our first priority.
Especially because of the blood thing.
I agree. I would feel more comfortable
Trying to do any of this with him.
with him, but also knowing we don't know what happened to him. Hearing his side of things could give us a clearer picture.
That and maybe he's found another entrance.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would help.
Alright, let's go.
Yep.
Alright, I am getting close to my limit of my shape changes. I can magically do it one more time. And innately do it one more as well.
I've only got one more.
Let's try and save what we can.
I'm going onslaught.
Save what we can, because I'm running low in my own stuff as well.
I would. So the do we have climbing equipment by chance?
Yes, we do.
I reach into
Purchased it
Percy's
when we went down.
backpack. Pull up the pythons and
Good.
extra ropes and things.
So the problem is how we got here was we flew and he dropped us off. So there is no clear trail that goes up or down. We have to scale this ourselves to go
Oh,
up.
that sounds like fun.
But it will be much easier to go up when there is a trail of snow to follow than if it was just sheer ice. So I would suggest start going up, and he kind of points like off to the north, mainly to the north, slightly in the eastern direction. Start going that way, as that's where the impact was, which caused it to all come down. I will spend my last wild shape to perhaps see if I can get a better view, a more precise location, so we're not just aimlessly climbing into nowhere.
That is fair.
And then I will meet back up with you when I find it out.
Be safe.
You too. Don't fall. It's a long way to the bottom. And with that, he kind of turns back into a hawk and
One of these days.
Onwards and upwards.
Literally.
so who would like to kind of be the front foot?
The one who everyone's gonna be tied to?
Let's check our skills and who's
Not
proficient in what.
I'm assuming the Goliath who lives in the mountains.
Yeah,
My survival is +6.
I got a +3.
My survival's a +4.
Kai's got a +5. But her strength is a -2.
Oh right, strength is also probably important. I have a +2 to my...
+3 my strength.
Kai has a -2. Those memes where it's the skinny kid with the muscle that kind of rotates down? Yeah, that's her.
So I can guide us, but
So maybe...
Maybe I'd be up front, but you right behind me, telling me where to go.
I will hold on to your ass and direct you in your direction you want to go.
This way.
Left. Right.
Hey now.
I'll squeeze a cheek when you.
I wish I would have thought of it. I could have brought the reins from the wagon, and we could have just put them on Drex. And Percy could have just got on his back, and you could say, "Percy left."
This is.
Kai reaches into her backpack and pulls out her rope.
We're gonna have to tie each other together anyway.
I mean, each person's got 50 foot at least. So.
I can try and bring up the rear since I'm the second strongest.
Until we're actually climbing, I don't think we want to be tied together.
No.
No.
Because an avalanche means loose snow, which means we're going to slip. One of us slipping could take down the whole group.
Yeah. That's why we'll have Drex, then you, and then those two maybe in the middle. I'll bring up the rear because I'm the second strongest, and so that way,
If
If we
someone starts to
actually-
slip,
last
Actually-
stitch effort, I can try.
Tie themselves together when they're on mountains, because that way, if one person slips and falls, the other person catches them, and they don't fall all the way down the mountain and die.
Yeah, that's not how I see it in most movies. It's
You're-
mostly the whole group goes.
Well, there's a
I'm
difference
just gonna
between
say
light and
if
movements.
if Percy falls, Percy's gonna be dead. But if Percy falls and he's tied to Drax, there's a chance Percy's not dead.
Well, I mean,
I'll tie it to me, don't worry.
unless once we actually get to a point where we're really climbing and there's like a drop off or something, yeah. But
So it's only
if we're just going
you're-
up a regular slope or something, I don't think we need it.
If it starts to get above, I would say, a 45-degree incline, then we should
Right.
hook up. Not in that sense, but
We'll just give you a shield so that if you start to slip, you can do the willow thing and just.
absolutely, if you don't go straight off the cliff, go and just straight down.
I'll just drink my potion of invisibility, and then this avalanche won't be able to see me.
We'll see you a week later down in the village where you landed.
We'll see what's left of you.
Poor
Okay,
Percy.
either way, when we start climbing, I'll still bring up the rear, just for precautionary measures.
Okay. Sophia, go ahead and give me a survival check as you attempt to navigate your party.
Really?
Oof.
That's an 11.
11. Okay. You guys are making progress. The beginning trek is easy. There's a lot of fresh kind of snow piles that it's easy to not lose your footing, not so much ice as it is just snow.
I beg to differ if you can't see the rocks on the bottom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Stoyo's daughter.
Theo.
Interesting.
Coincidentally,
Serves you right.
you do find a patch where you're walking and you step where your foot kind of easily slips through the snow and it hits just a solid patch of ice. I need you to make me a dexterity save, please.
Can I use a reaction to try and grab him?
We'll see what happens here.
12.
12? It's close. You do slip, but your kind of initial, body taking over, you find level ground, prevent yourself from falling backwards. You feel like at this altitude, it's probably okay, but if the slope were steeper and higher, it would be significantly more dangerous. But you're okay from there. So, as you guys eventually get to a point where you do in fact need to start climbing, I'm going to have everybody
Hook up and buckle up.
do a group dexterity check.
That's check your deck save.
I'll give you guys your bonuses.
Okay. Oh, thank God, I only have a +1 to that. We're good.
14.
18.
16.
12. And my deck save is +8.
Expected high numbers from you.
19 with a +6, that's a 25!
You all do
Little Miss Lightfoot over here.
very well, kind of working together Perhaps it's the heightened stakes of the situation where literally one wrong step could kill you. The sense of teamwork and working together, kind of everyone making sure that they know their roles and what they're doing. The climb upward is rather smooth, like a well-oiled machine, where one person's foot moves and everybody else moves. You don't have any slip-ups, no one stumbles, and you make fairly good progress. You're about 15-20 minutes into it. Eventually, Stoyo comes back in the form of a hawk. He kind of like flutters next to you, Percy.
I just say in normal language, I can't do it again today.
Kai just offers her arm.
Theo, can you talk to him?
He's in hawk form.
You probably didn't prepare speak with animals today,
I
did
do
you?
not have speak with animals prepared.
Nod your head twice if it's really bad, once if it's kind of bad, or shake your head if it's fucked.
Yes, we'll start the Lassie speech. Did he fall down the well?
We'll just do like easy like yes or no answers.
Thanks. Like,
Did you find the dragon?
awesome.
Are we
Is
on the right
he
path?
seriously wounded? Are we going the right direction?
Okay, that way.
It's like points like with his talons like upward, just slightly more to the right.
Okay, we're gonna have to tack to the right as we climb.
Fantastic.
Is there danger ahead for us?
Does anyone have a shield? Yeah. Sledding. We're wanting to go up, not down.
I know, but coming back down.
Slid off the mountain.
I'll pull a 99.
I'm sure.
I have a wooden shield on my back.
I'm pretty sure the cleric is going to say no to that.
Right into Foxtrot.
Worth it!
Yeah, Kai's not worried about it. She's got slow fall. The rest of us are screwed.
You guys continue your trek upward
so I can
for
wait for the last little
another
minute and
15-20 minutes. Stoyo kind of keeps flight next to you, kind of pulling you in the right direction. Until eventually the sloped climb kind of teeters off and it comes to a opening that's not so much an opening just as it is like where you're no longer going up, it flattens out.
Plateau.
Yeah, plateau, thank you.
Gotcha.
And within the plateau here, there is a large lump of snow where you can kind of see poking out from different sides where Thelzar's body is. His wings poking out is his claws and talons. He's not completely buried in it. His face is uncovered, so at least he can breathe. But there's
It
a
doesn't look good.
pretty big mountain of snow on him. And as you kind of hit the plateau, a story pops out of hawk form.
Do either of you guys have a way to generate enough heat to melt the snow off him?
Without hitting him.
Kai pulls her shovel back out of her backpack. I'm going digging.
I will start using sheep water to remove snow.
I was just thinking I could just see Drax going, Eldritch Blast! Eldritch Blast! To blast the snow and causing another avalanche.
I also have the cantrip Green Flame Blade.
Oh, that's great fire though. Yeah. Well,
However, I have to hit.
What Troy was thinking, Percy would not know this even exists. Troy was thinking of the spell Heat Metal. Like, could we put, like, metal close enough to him that we could heat it and it would melt the snow? But nobody has that spell, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll
This
start using
is
shape
something
water
maybe
to
more
start
Kathy
digging
gets
them
it
out
for
as best I can.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Kai's just gonna kind of like dig out as
Mostly
much as she can.
what's on top of him so that if he can stand up afterwards.
Yeah. Have shovel, will dig.
I was like,
Percy
Kai's
will-
got a shovel. She's just digging away.
Is it possible to determine where his head might be? Like,
Yeah, you
which
can-
end
you
would be
can
the
see
head,
it,
so that
yeah.
like Percy would at least like brush the
don't
snow
have
off
a
of
shovel.
his
I would
face and head to make sure he can breathe.
I would like to kind of check to make sure he's still alive.
Sure. Give me a medicine check.
Would you like an assist?
I could assist. I have +8.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. You feel the body like rising and lowering in the form of a breathing pattern, but it's like kryptonite to Superman.
Okay.
So we need to find it and remove it, basically.
The breathing patterns, while still
Very
present,
shallow.
have slowed. They're shallow.
Would it buy him some time if I forced a potion of healing down him? I mean, I'm not expecting it to heal him and bring him to consciousness, but I think, that might buy him, in game terms, a couple of rounds.
We might have to try it to find out.
Yeah.
I will. I'll try it. I'll take one of my potions and basically Nox, can you hold his mouth open a little bit? And then
I got you.
dump it in.
To the land
So as you're kind of like
Yeah.
poking like around his head, getting ready to use this potion, a like large exhale of air kind of comes from his nostril, which kind of catches you off guard, being that close.
Mhm.
The eyes kind of do flutter open and kind of slowly do that like roll, like a cat that just wakes up, where they kind of roll and look to you guys.
Drink this! And I dump it in his mouth.
How you doing? Is there a wound or something that we need to get to? Is there something stuck in you?
Something drains me.
That's so vague.
How do we move a dragon?
You don't.
What if it wasn't a dragon?
That's what I was just gonna say. But can you do to him what you did to Theo earlier? Only make him into something smaller?
I could try.
But under this mountain of snow, it might crush him.
Yeah, we want to go on buried first.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
Turn him into a polar bear.
Or a snow bunny. They dig in the snow,
A
right?
snow dolphin! He can just swim down the mountain.
Snow dolphins aren't really a thing.
Why not turn him into like a snow bunny or like a mink or something that can like dig through the snow?
I mean, honestly, anything that is smaller and easier to
Manage.
transport, yes.
But
Say your
with
magics. His body cannot be transformed.
Crap.
Where was that?
Oh, because he's already done it.
Because he's cursed.
Drex the shovel, he just starts digging with his shield.
Kai's just
Yep.
digging away with her shovel.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just keep
Okay.
digging.
So back to my original question. How do we move a dragon?
We find where it
We
hit.
find the source of whatever's causing it.
It's probably inside the mountain, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you see another entrance? Because the one that we saw is now blocked. I have a feeling that whatever's doing this to you is coming from inside the mountain.
Perhaps there was another cave. It relates to this one or not. I don't know.
So, I have an idea. Okay. I don't know if it'll work or not, but based off of the crystals and the ice that you described, and how it kind of ricochets light around, if Astoyo and I can get into a point to where we can have access to that and cast Moonbeam and have Moonbeam kind of ricochet around in that cave.
We have to get to that point first.
It's like an EMP for vampires.
Yep.
It's like, boom!
It's terrifying and diabolical, and I
I'm
love
just thinking of the game. There's a Mario Party game where you're like on the platform, and the one person's in the middle, and they shoot the laser beams and try to hit you.
We have to get that far first, children.
Good idea, though.
But again, out of character, that is diabolical, and I love it.
Yeah, if that happens in character, Nox is gonna go, let's focus on one thing at a time, please.
I mean, we'd have to have access to some of that crystal.
We have to get there first.
If what's affecting him is in the cave, we're gonna have to go in. There's
Oh,
nothing we
definitely.
can do out here except for,
Unmarried, please.
Watch him die.
yeah, or you know, let's unbury him so maybe he can try to
Yeah, we at least
walk his way or
we
crawl
at least
his way
need
out.
to unbury him so
Well-
we can see the extent of injuries.
He doesn't seem to have any real injury. It's
Um,
this place draining him.
I'm going back to something I said earlier that I didn't think about this. Eldritch Blast. Can move him 10 feet.
Yeah, but that could kill him.
That could cause another fucking avalanche.
But I'm just... Hear me out. Eldritch Blast from above.
Pull him 10 feet up.
No! Push him down! He can just... Ooh, belly slide all the way down!
Right into the building.
I'm combining Eldritch Blast and the shield thing.
I'm assuming that
He's
he's
got the
at
pole
least a large
version, though.
creature.
It's
I got
push
pulled up.
version.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, you'd be right in the line.
so
Yep.
there's probably a size limit to Eldritch Blast movement abilities.
I have to look it up, actually.
We just need to unbury him.
Percy doesn't
gauge
know
the
that.
situation in which
Sure.
he's
Yeah,
in.
I was like, Kai hasn't really stopped digging. She's trying to like unbury a leg so she can check.
Yeah,
to
I
see
mean,
if
we're
he got
probably
hit.
all trying to
Yeah.
like do this, have this conversation while we're trying to clear him off.
Is Anastasia just digging?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once we can see him, then we'll form our game plan. But we need to see him first. So we dig. And dig.
Generally, spells with a push feature have a size limitation. It's usually medium or large.
Yep. You're probably 100% correct. I just gotta find it.
So, you can, between all of you helping out with various different things, magics, mundane objects like shovels, you can take the time to basically take this large weight of a snow pile off of him and unbury the body.
That's kind of the goal.
But it is going to take time. And
Yeah, Percy's of the opinion we
From
just
what
need to
he's-
get like his head dug out so that he's can
his
breathe
head,
and
his
he's
head
safe.
is dug out.
And then
His
we
head
need
was
to
never-
go because
his
the
nev-
more
his-
time we spend digging him out is the more time he's
I
literally
want-
dying.
I
his,
want at
yeah,
least
his
his-
head was never covered.
I at least want
It's-
his
it's-
head and maybe some of his neck, so it's not putting pressure on his neck.
His head was never
Okay.
covered. It is his body that is
Yeah, it's
is
just kind
powered
of
up.
the head and neck area, so that way he
Because
actually
if we can
have
stop whatever's causing this, he won't be dying, and he can just
We're
fly out of here.
We're gonna have to go to the cave.
some- Yeah, but I at least want
Can,
his.
can he give us directions about his other entrance was?
Down the backside.
At the bottom of the mountain?
Here. There is.
What if that entrance is now covered because of the avalanche?
It seemed to come this direction, so it probably didn't hit both sides.
There is a lake that runs through the cavern.
That's weird. Because I saw a lake inside the cavern.
There are many.
But it couldn't be the same lake because that lake would be way too high. It would like be empty. You know, like if you fill one container up here and then another container down here, this container would be empty.
It's fine. This
That
one,
seems to be our best option.
Go the long
I
way.
hate to leave him here. It's a,
As long as his head and neck aren't being crushed, that's fine.
Estoya, would you feel safer leaving Anas and Anastasia here?
Anastasia.
To maybe she'd be safer here with him, and they can keep each other. She can keep him company.
It's nothing against him, but we are not going to be the only ones looking for an explanation of this avalanche.
yeah. It's got a point.
Belzer, can you turn invisible right now?
Or are you too weak?
That's gonna leave a weird impression in the snow.
I am spent.
Okay.
And which you would remember from before he left, he had mentioned that he could only do it one more time.
That's true.
I think we just need to get going.
Yeah, as long as his, again, head and neck are uncovered so they aren't being crushed, he'll be fine.
You said
Best thing to
On
do
the
is try to
backside
find
of
the
the mountain
source
near
and
the
stop
bottom?
the source. Turn off the on switch. Hit the quick kill switch. Percy's thinking literally kill switch.
Engage.
Oh, you have no idea how hard Percy in character when he saw the guards talking to the woman.
To not try.
He basically would have done 8d6 plus 8 damage because of his assassinate ability. It's an automatic crit.
Okay.
So we will work our way back down the mountain.
And then just another point here for you, because you would have known this. When you were in the cave, when you saw the lake,
Mhm.
it did have a runoff.
Like a waterfall?
Yeah. So it did go
Okay.
fall downward.
Oh, so... Okay. I'm not a dwarf. So I probably wouldn't know that that'll probably be the room we're going to come into.
or part
like
of a
you,
series
like
of
you were
water
explaining with how like when one gets full, it drips off into the next.
Mhm.
There's probably a run of lakes that,
lakes
So-
and waterfalls.
and
So-
this one at near the bottom is probably the final one.
So I'm thinking that wherever we go in, we're probably going to come out this tunnel I saw on the other side of this lake.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he would say that because
Well,
Percy
fine,
would
yeah.
think that.
We'll find out when we get there.
But as we're going down, I will also do my best because I imagine Percy at this point is huffing and puffing. We've been climbing up and down this mountain. His short little legs can't keep up with Nox and Drax. And
Well, and the other thing
And-
is, didn't Thalzar say the one entrance we saw was at the other side of the mountain? Like, up north further?
The other side in terms of the back side instead of the front side, which is
Yeah.
where you guys were.
I am not
So we have to
fighting
go
invitation.
around and down.
Probably a little ways.
Yeah, you have to go over and down.
Even in the wording, it just says when a creature is hit.
Yeah, I mean, in my wording, the creature.
so
Right,
Percy's
absolutely.
probably huffing and puffing, but he's explaining to you guys what he saw as he was in there.
Yeah,
Like,
I can only
going
imagine how
through.
difficult this is for people who don't have, like, longer legs. It must be significantly more challenging for them to get through the snow.
Kai's hopping through Drex's footsteps.
Okay. Well, then we will go ahead and we will pick up here.
Good session, good session.